Hi, Pisces Sun and Rising. Welcome to your July 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, as the month of July begins, you probably, starting in June, have been having a very fun time of it because I'm recording this on the 17th of June. So there's a good chance that there are going to be a lot of you that are listening in June. And as the month of June ends, there's already the sun in your fifth house in Cancer, Mercury and Venus. And the fifth house in astrology is ruled by Leo and has to do with love and creativity and pleasure, the things you do for fun. So to have the sun there, the ruler of the fifth house, means that you're probably having a great time. Also, this is a great creative period, and it's very romantic. Cancer is a fellow water sign, so it forms a trine, which is very cooperative, very harmonious, and it makes things more likely to manifest. That's the best way of articulating it. So on the 2nd of the month, Mercury goes into Leo, and that's the 6th house for you. And that can be a time where you're really getting down to brass tacks. That's the saying of like really becoming more grounded. This is an earth house, since your opposite sign of Virgo rules this house in astrology. It's about your work life, your daily routine, how you order your day, and it's the house of health, your diet. And Mercury here could be like you reading up on these kinds of matters and thinking about things from that perspective. You might be talking or negotiating with a current or potentially future employer. That's a possibility. On the same day, Neptune goes retrograde at 29 degrees, 56 minutes of Pisces. Still in Pisces, but really getting close to Aries, but won't get there until next March. So this is in your sign, and Neptune retrograde can bring a reality check of some sort. And this could be something in your life as a whole, something within yourself, where you have kind of deluded yourself into thinking something. Of course, Pisces is such an imaginative sign as it is. I could see you being that way for some reason. But it's good because what it means is that you can begin to operate from a more realistic perspective. There's such a great emphasis these days on making people feel like they are so capable of doing anything. And, it's wonderful to encourage people to, shoot for the stars. But still, we do have, we have to look at our lives realistically so that anything that we do want to change, we don't have these expectations that are completely, unrealistic. And then we, like this retrograde, then that makes people come crashing back down to earth. It's better to be positive and to be optimistic about goals and whatnot, and at the same time to realize that everything isn't going to change overnight. So anyway, that could bring a reality check of some sort with you. On the 5th, we have a new moon at 14 degrees of Cancer in that wonderful 5th house. So that could be new love coming into your life. And there could be this sense that you are turning a corner if you have been maybe with someone that, or maybe you were kind of had your heart connected to somebody else and that was impeding your ability to move on romantically. This could be the time where all that changes. Also, since this is a house of creativity, you could be starting or conceiving a new, new artistic project. When I said the word conceive, I was thinking, oh, is that a good word? Because that sounds like conceiving children. Actually, that could occur. Fifth house can be conceiving children. So whether it's your creative babies or actual physical children, keep that in mind, because I read somewhere that I believe I read that the water signs are very fertile, and this is a water new moon, so that could really happen. If you're the fifth house is the house of recreational sex, so you know how that goes. On the 11th, Venus goes into Leo, so Venus is going into this very practical place. So you get 6 days of Venus in the fifth house after the new moon. So that could be very romantic. And then it goes into a very business-like area, very practical area of the sixth house. And this could have more to do with any kind of, like Mercury is here. So Mercury could be negotiating. So you could be negotiating a raise, for instance, because Venus can be money. For some, this could be where they're meeting this person in the workplace. This love I'm talking about. On the 20th, we have Mars going into Gemini. So Gemini is a fellow mutable sign, and this is going to occur for Pisces in the 4th house of home and family. Mars in the 4th can bring a little bit of conflict, or maybe a lot of conflict. So Mars has been in your 3rd house, and depending on what else is going on in your life, and for some of you, because of, especially from, I would say, the period of time of last March, this past March, there was a lunar eclipse in your 8th house, and that is the house of death. Lunar eclipse can be death, but it's also the house of other people's money. So maybe there was some kind of inheritance matter, and Mars in your 3rd house, that can be your siblings. And then the 4th house, it can be your mom, or some astrologers say it's the father. But I say family of origin. So there could be some conflict there. And with Mars going into this 4th house, that could signal a time of conflict that has to do with family matters. Also, this could be your physical residence, that you're doing some kind of rehab, construction work on it. And also one thing to note too is that the 3rd house can be neighbors. So as I'm recording this, Mars is probably in that domain right now. And maybe you tell the neighbor, hey, look, I'm going to be adding an addition to my property. So if you hear any kind of extra noises for the next month, that's what it is. I apologize in advance. And the person goes, hey, I work from home. What do you think you're doing? You're going to mess up my work. And so then there's a conflict. And the Pisces person says, hey, I own my home. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Well, that can create some conflict with a neighbor. But it looks like you're going to go full steam ahead. It can be just getting more active in your local community for whatever reason. That could be third house. Or getting more active with your siblings. On the 21st, maybe you're doing, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the summer. Maybe you're getting together with your siblings, your cousins, your aunts and uncles, and just hanging out more, spending more time with them, doing activities with them. On the 21st, we have a blue moon that's going to be at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So that's a friendly angle to you, Pisces. This is the 11th house of hopes and wishes and friendships. Wow. And this is the second, that's what a blue moon is, the second full moon in a sign in a month. And so as I record this, the first one is in the future on June 21st at 1 degree of Capricorn. This is at 29 degrees. So for those listening before June 21st, that one will most likely be in your 10th house more than the 11th house because it's only at 1 degree. In case I didn't say this at the beginning, this is a general reading. So the exact dates may differ from person to person. So this one, and by the way, if you do have a full moon in that 10th house in June, that could even be like a promotion. And the 11th house is a house of gains. So this could be like a greater, quite an increase in your your profits. Like if you have a business, it could blow up. It could be, you get quite a raise. So, and because it's a blue moon, who knows? Maybe it's even more significant. On the 22nd, the sun goes into Leo, into that area of the 6th house, and you take on that kind of Virgo-esque demeanor where you're all about business, all about health, and things of that nature. And then on the 25th, Mercury goes into the sign of Virgo, but in your chart, it's actually in that 7th house of committed partnership. But it's also, the 7th house is also the house of legal affairs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mercury in the 7th house could be some legal document, like, maybe it's a probate, a will, whatever, that you have to sign or you have to look at. Because there could be something ongoing that you have to take care of that has to do with other people's money. Okay, that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.